Good morning. My name is Grace Ross, and I am a volunteer at the Castle Dome Museum. The museum is a rustic preservation of a 1860s mining town. We mine silver and lead here, or did, for over 120 years. We have over 50 buildings. Most of them are original, though not all of them are standing where they originally were. When the town was demolished, the owners got some of the buildings as salvage and brought them back here on his flatbed truck. In addition to the 50 buildings, we have a nice walking tour to see the original cemetery. And here are a couple of the original cabins. And then up here, though, is the graveyard. This is the original graveyard. But you know, it's funny, they don't know who. They know the names of the people buried here, but they don't know who is where. Okay, this is the bunkhouse right here. And this is, I think, amazing. It's a great visual to see how friggin' tough life was. Sometimes if he has people come in here, he'll let them stay in the back, in the bunks here, but it's pretty rough. It's a problem with mice.
Out in the desert, wow.
And then just keep going. And this is where they slept. Pretty rough, but this would have been considered a luxury, this bunkhouse. It has a stove, it has windows. We have, in our 50 buildings, we have a spectacular hotel. We're in the dressmaker's shop right now. When you visit this place, you really get a feel of how life was lived back in the 1860s, 1870s, and even other decades. We were number 2 in lead production, in addition to silver, so we certainly made a great war effort. Now the owners are a neat couple. The wife, Stephanie, is an anthropologist, and her husband, Alan, is a collector. And no one else could have made this town what it is today. But he finds this old wood, and he researches it, and they're pretty good reproductions on this side. See, he just finished this recently in the last few years. The Spanish were here even in the 1600s digging for silver. But in 1864, the town got incorporated. By 1895, we were bigger than Yuma. We had a population of over 3,000 residents here. And Yuma only had the territorial prison and the fort and a trading post. We were the hopping place to be. Town started to die out in the 1920s. During the Great Depression, a lot of people were turned away from California border. Their quota was made. So a lot of people that were suffering in the Dust Bowl and in the Depression, they came here and moved right into one of the shacks or into one of the buildings in the town. To the left, the third one over, we call it Angel Wing. Do you see that mountain? It looks like an angel wing. That's where they found water. And the original pipes are still up there. I hiked up there. It's about 4 miles. And there's a little cistern in there. And but the water would be gravity fed, and that's how Castle Dome City got its water. But before that, they went...
was there a spring up there?
Yeah, there's a spring up there. But before that, they'd have to haul it from the Colorado River, which is almost 20 miles
so that's
away.
A mine shaft.
Yeah, that's one of the mine shafts. And we always caution people, see, some of them are not blockaded off. Somebody could get in trouble here. And that's why I always warn them, especially if they have kids with them, because it could be a real dangerous spot for a kid. But by 1979, when the price of silver fell, the Hunt brothers had cornered the market on silver. The whole town died down when the mines were closed in 1979. Now in early 1990s, the government was tearing down this place. They wanted to clean it up a little. They wanted to make it safer for people. And the owners got quite a few of the buildings as salvage and brought them right in on his flatbed and added to what he already had here. So most of the buildings are original. The museum started, I believe, in 2003 or 2004 with just one building for public viewing, and now it has grown to an amazing size. The owner just recently bought another mine called the Hull Mine, which the locals are very familiar with. You can drive a pickup right down into the mine. And next year, that mine and the surrounding area will be open for another part of Castle Dome City. We have a schoolhouse here that is an original. The teacher is standing upright with a paddle in her hand. The children love to see that. They're unfamiliar with corporal punishment, which was the norm back in the day. The dressmaker shop right here has a lot of original clothing that have been preserved. A lot of the clothing was preserved in the mines themselves, as well as some of the buildings that were left pretty much intact. Next to the Carmelita's bar, there's a little room that the prostitute used to live in. We have a lot of mannequins portraying the original citizens of the town. It was a wild and rowdy town. There were a lot of shootings, bank robberies, thieves. If you didn't die from lead poisoning, you would have maybe an Apache attack you. This was not a state, Arizona, until 1912. So it was the true Wild West during the late 1800s. And the lifespan was not very long. If you were a miner or a prostitute or even a regular citizen, you had a lot of things to contend with. This is Doc Hull's office is up there, second floor. Post office is over here. Don't mess with the door up here because the door only opens from the inside. If it slams shut out here, you're pretty much out here until 5 o'clock or somebody else comes around. You can go right out here, but the view is stupendous. Yeah, you can see, that's California over that way. Yeah.
You can see the town up there too.
Yeah. That must be an ATVer. And then these are ruins over here for one of the last, what do you call it? One of the last shafts, not the shafts, the bulkhead, the head rigger, I believe. We have a jail with one cell for the prisoners. We have a church with a pipe organ in it. And we do reenactments. All of us volunteers reenact some of the stories that really happened here. We have a bunkhouse that shows how the miners lived and how they bathed. Apparently a prostitute would carry her tub with her from mining town to mining town and clean the miners up before she performed her magic. Toole Hadley started her brothel business in San Francisco during the time the smelters were running full force. And then she and her girls followed the miners, toting the bathtub from camp to camp. It's pretty funny. I come up and I say, "Come on up and see me sometime, fellers." Since I'm the youngest retiree, I get to play the painted lady, and we have a lot of fun with that. School children come here and learn history. It's very palatable. It's fun, so people learn whether they want to or not. We have a big crowd on a lot of weekends, especially when the snowbirds come, and we have a lot of fun, and so do they. To find us, you can look up Castle Dome Museum. We do have a website, but you can always call and find out what our hours are and what we offer. And we hope to see you sometime soon. You don't have to worry about snakes today, I believe, because it's pretty cold out for snakes. But if you do see one, step back carefully because it's probably going to be a rattlesnake. Yeah. We have a noose here that we can noose them and remove them and take them out to the desert. by somebody other than me.
Yeah.
And also look for the footbridge in the far back right corner. That footbridge takes you to the saw shop, but it also takes you on a trail to a 3-building exhibit called the 70s, and that's dedicated to the last miners here. Now, after you've seen all of this, come back through the same door you started, this door here, and then get into your vehicle and drive towards the road. But before you reach it, the driveway veers to the left and you'll end up in the parking lot. Then you cross over by foot, open the latch gate, and you see the rest of the city. Okay. There's an original graveyard over there. Doc Hull's office is on the 2nd floor. You can see forever if you step out on the balcony from there. The Flora Temple Mill, the cabins, but really of note is the bunkhouse. Go all the way in to the bunkhouse and see how they bathe the miners. It's pretty comical. You follow the road, you follow the path here, the boulders painted with red arrows to go, blue to come back. It'll keep you on the trail so you learn the history of the town, plus it'll keep you away from the mine shafts. There's about 20 of them there, and they go down a couple hundred feet. Please don't climb into the mine shaft and try to go prospecting. I don't want to get the rope out today. And that pretty much is it, folks. It's a self-guided tour. Restrooms are in the back. We have outhouses behind the bunkhouse, outhouses here, and we have RV toilets very close to the front. And we also sell pop and water at the Miners Diner.
Oh, you do?
Yes, we
I
do.
talked to the guy.
Well, there's no liquor served at any of the 5 taverns.
But when I looked it up, it said bring your own water.
Well, we do have water, but it's the end of the season now. I think our snacks are pretty well demolished, but we still have beverages. And that's it. So go and enjoy yourself, folks.
Great.